you've been giving back your entire life, but give back in a new way. And so you're going to be giving back to the industry with something that's coming up here.
Right.
So one of the things I've always wondered is, how do I get a portrait from David Raccuglia? You know, how do you get one? Well, you probably have to spend a lot of money. You probably have to do a lot of different things. But I thought, wow, how cool would it be if we could get portraits by the master himself? And so let's kind of announce to the group what you're doing, okay?
Sure.
So David has agreed to, as a donation to Beauty Changes Lives, have 20 sittings, 20 private sittings in Austin on Sunday, May 21st. And we are going to auction off those sittings, only 20. And David's going to take a private portrait of these lucky recipients. And you're going to be working hard that day, because 20 portraits, you know, over a time frame of probably a good half day, maybe 4 to 6 hours. But you got a Digitech coming. You're going to bring all the equipment. And this is going to be an opportunity for 20 people to have their portrait taken by you, David. We're thrilled about this. And we've only got 20 slots. They have to be present in Austin to have the portrait taken. But tell us a little bit more about what this experience is going to look like and what they can expect with. And so what the proceeds will do is they will go to Beauty Changes Lives to support career campaigns, other campaigns to help with the human capital crisis. David, this is a very generous thing for you to do, so thank you. Tell us a little bit more about why you're excited about this.
Well, I love shooting portraits. You know, portraits an intimate interpretation of the experience of that moment. You know, you're there in Austin with my colleagues, and you know what you look for. It's unfortunately, you know, I'm not a realist. I do what I can to make people look as good as they physically can. I'm not there to just share the experience of what, you know, it's lit to look beautiful and classic and timeless, and a simple gesture and a simple moment. But you know, I love doing it. And you know, it's interesting because I want to make an heirloom for them. It's something that day in their life was a great experience. We met, we did some artwork together, and they're able to take that home and have that as a memory. And I always think that's great. You know, it's sometimes a portrait isn't as beautiful, but it's passionate. Sometimes it isn't necessarily beauty in the classic sense of beauty, where high cheekbones and red lips, or, you know, perfect head of hair for a man and no double chin. Sometimes it just you get the light and you use the light to carve a beautiful image out. So they're going to have to trust me that I'm bringing my carving equipment, and I'm going to do my best to give a beautiful portrait. They won't be full length. They'll be an intimate. I like to get as close to the eyes as possible in a portrait. Even if they're not looking at the camera, they need to be present in an experience of some sort of gesture. So, I mean, it'll be very cool, and I'll do my best to make that something that they like. I sort of work with people. You know, sometimes you get it in 5 frames, and sometimes you need 50. Sometimes you need 100. You know, there's a process of collaborating. So I look forward to it. It'll be fun.
I love you use the word heirloom, because that's really what it would be. And, you know, just as far as for those that are listening in here, this is something that you could bid on a sitting for yourself. It could be for a teammate. It could be for a friend. It could be for another participant. So the portrait that you would be, purchasing can be for, you just have to be there that day, because this is like a one-day ding, you know, one shot. So
right. And I believe we should explain. I'm planning on, it can be in color. I would urge everyone to understand that the timeless quality of a black and white portrait is going to be a little more elegant in a small setting. In this sort of setting, I have a lighting style that I can make look very Rembrandt-like in light. It has a very elegant quality. So my choice is to start in black and white. I'm not shooting film. It'll be a digital capture. So if color was something you wanted to see, it would be available to you. But I have a system in order to achieve a very good black and white portrait. It's the way I light and the way it's finally processed out. So that would be ultimately what I would love to do with you, with the subject. But I'm open to a color rendition.
Perfect. And I think Michelle from our team already put something in the chat about how to, yeah, the silent auction will officially open soon. Soon is the end of this week or the beginning of next week. If you'd like to have early access to bid on the photo session, please email Michelle. So, all right, so Michelle has put in the link how to email to her so that you can stay connected on this. All right, well, there's another part of what you're contributing. And again, to keep clear here, what we're really talking about is an opportunity to raise some funds for a nonprofit that is doing some amazing things. And so one method of generosity from you is the 20 portraits, but there's something else that you are gracious enough that we'll be doing. And so I need to pull this up here. So if you'll bear with me. All right, whoops, I made a little boo-boo there, so bear with me, everybody. You're gonna have to see me scroll through. All right, so, okay, all right. So this is what the auction site would look like. There'll be, 20 sessions, and they'll be timed and all that stuff. And so these are for the individual, the 20 portraits thing. In addition, we're also going to make available, with David's generosity, the ability to purchase portraits from the existing collection. And we're going to curate some. We're also going to get them posted on there. And tell us a little bit about what that would look like in terms of what they might receive if they decided to buy something from your existing collection, whether it's Horst, whether it's Vidal Sassoon, or whether it's one of these celebrities. What would they be getting?
My favorite way of printing these would be a 20 by 24. It'll be printed on archival paper, sign print, and I will have an edition. I want to keep it legit, so we'll do an edition of. I thought we had talked about, Tom, maybe 10 images we were going to give the choices of.
Yep.
With an edition of only 10 per individual print, which means there's 100 options, 10 of 10, and they'll get a very ready to be framed archival print, digital archival print from me.
And then now, to be clear,
course and numbered for the 1 to 10 collection.
Okay, and you're signing them too?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So, and just to be clear for our audience, you do not need to be at the FiLL to participate in this. This will be a silent auction, and you'll be able to do this prior to the FiLL. I think we might keep it a little bit open after the FiLL if we still have some portraits available. So to be clear, the 20 individual private portraits are just for those at the FiLL. Images from the existing collection would be, you don't need to be present. David, I'm going to come back to you for a moment, but we also have, I also suggest that there's, so we're have more auction items that we're going to have on this silent auction. And Janet Williams is also a Beauty Changes Lives board member, and she has graciously agreed to provide a culture assessment, provide a workshop, and call it a pathways package And Janet really is has a cultural consulting firm that practices care. Her acronym is for Courage, Abundance, Resilience, and Education as a core value. And she really helps the beauty and wellness industry embrace these concepts. So this is a package, and she's only offering one of these. I know that Heath Smith at Ruiz is bringing Janet in to do something with this team. So Janet is another silent auction item that will be available, and we have some other ones coming. But David, I'm looking at the clock here, and we're moving into wrapping up. I can't wait. I'm so darn excited. You saw I was like a kid in a candy shop when we were talking about this. I was so excited. When I first asked you to do this, I was like, I was really a little bit kind of tentative, a little shy, a little almost apologetic. And you're like, hell yeah, I love doing this kind of stuff. And you were all in at the start. So thank you for that. And I'm super excited and thankful for what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Tom. It was great being on here, and I look forward to Austin.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
All right, David, we will talk to you very soon.